Hi guys, good evening. Thank you for joining us on this LinkedIn Live. So the purpose of the live is to go through how we can help you transform from a one-van band operation into a predictable asset. So we have this system called the Book Solid system, which is specifically designed for plumbing and heating businesses. And in the webinar, I'm going to take you through how we've helped one of our clients scale from doing a couple $100,000 a year to over 1.3 million pounds. So what are you going to learn on the Booked Solid webinar? Okay, so you're going to learn 4 things today. So the first one being is what is an asset as a business? So I'm going to explain to you what that is. It should be fairly obvious and it should be fairly clear, but why you should care about it. Second thing you're going to learn on the webinar is why word of mouth is not scalable. Obviously, that's another obvious one, but I'm going to talk you through a system on how you can scale your plumbing business with a repeatable system, something that produces predictable growth. And then the fourth thing is what's changing today in the world of how you market your business, how people find your business. We're obviously all aware of AI and how that's transforming the world. And it's important that you at least understand how that's going to impact your business and how people find your business in the future. So they're the 4 key things that you're going to learn today. So just a very quick introduction to myself. My name is Steve Mark. I'm the founder of We Are SMC. We're a specialist agency working with plumbing, trades and construction businesses. I've got 20 years marketing experience, as you can see from the grey hair. 5 years of those at board level for a company called Vanarama. And we specialize in working with trades businesses. That's what we do. And we've helped numerous trade businesses scale from just a few $100,000 of revenue to £1 million or more in annual revenue. So it's just a quick introduction on who I am. Okay. So this is very typical of a lot of the businesses that we speak to. So we speak to a lot of owner-operator businesses where they're working anything from 50 to 60 hours plus. They're facing a situation where they're either still on the tools at 50 plus, or if they don't change and go on a different trajectory, they're still going to be on the tools at 50. And there's nothing wrong in that if that's what you want for your business and that's what you want for you. Excuse me. There is nothing wrong with that. But typically a lot of plumbing and heating businesses where there is a founder, owner, operator will struggle with feast or famine cash flow, strong months followed by less strong months, and profitability will fluctuate quite heavily. So on the left is a very typical plumbing and heating business owner. You're doing everything. You're picking up the phone. You're answering the calls. You're doing the paperwork. At 11 o'clock at night, you're probably sending off gas safety certificates if you don't have a job management tool in place. Whereas the guy on the right is an asset owner. He's developed the business as an asset. So that is where we want to get you to. And that's what this webinar is all about, to switch on some light bulbs and kind of shine a light on maybe a different way of growing your business. And this really is the result of not doing this. This is the result. So this is very unpredictable growth. If you're the owner operator and you're sick in any way, or you want to take time away, typically the business shuts down for a week or 2. You might have a couple of subcontractors doing a bit of work for you, but typically kind of everything stops. The marketing stops, the phone calls are diverted or not answered at all in the worst case. So you can't predict it. It's unscalable, it's unsellable, and it's unreliable. So I just wanted to talk about where we are right now and how most of your customers will either find you or do research on you. So despite what a lot of people are saying, and a lot of people are saying Google's dying, Google's dead, and all this sort of nonsense, and it is nonsense. The world is changing, of course, we're aware of that, but still the figures are clear. 87% of your prospects and customers are going to evaluate you on Google before they're going to ring you. They're not asking neighbors. They might be asking friends, but typically 87% are going to be looking on Google, and they're going to be looking at your reviews. They're going to be looking at your website. And, the first thing that they're going to do if the boiler breaks down, they'll hit Google and they'll type in a search on their mobile phone: emergency plumber near me, boiler repair company near me, boiler replacement company near me. And they're going to be the typical searches. So mostly people are still hitting Google to do their research. So I wanted to talk to you about another thing that we typically see. And, I hear it all the time when I'm speaking to plumbing and heating business owners. They're getting pitched a lot, cold pitches, by people that are trying to push them down the route of buying ads. And all they're interested in is getting the sale for signing up a new client and helping them run ads. They're not interested in looking at the foundations of the business and is it actually fit to be running ads. And this is typically what I see all the time. So the business will have your typical brochure website, which will normally consist of like 5 pages: homepage, a service page with everything dumped on it, a contact page, about us, maybe meet the team, and maybe a quote page if you're lucky. There won't be any reviews, and even if you are getting leads through it, there's no robust follow-up system in place. So this is typically what we see. And as the slide says there, the rule here is we want to fix the foundations first. So that's what you're going to learn on this webinar, is that it's not just about pouring money in at the top. It's about creating solid foundations at the bottom. It's about plugging those holes in the bucket. So I want to introduce you to Jordan. We've been working together for actually 6 years now. We started working together in 2020, just before the pandemic hit, which was quite a difficult time to start promoting a plumbing and heating business. But there you go, we survived that. And 6 years on, we're still working together. And by working together, and it has been a partnership, this has not just been us. So this is not just us kind of blowing our own smoke, if you like. This has been a partnership working with Jordan. He's trusted in the process, he's trusted in what we're doing, and he's followed everything that we've told him to do. Things like getting registered with which trusted trader, getting accreditations, moving up the sort of ranks in Worcester Bosch, organizing the opportunity to offer boiler finance. So he's listened to everything that we've been telling him. Drive reviews, up your customer service game, all of that. So he has gone from in 2020 turning over roughly 223,000, and as you can see there, the trajectory of his business has taken him to last year turning over just over 1.3 million. So that's nearly a 500% growth over those 5 years, and we're into our 6th year now. And he's now at a stage where he's mostly off the tools. He still picks up the tools occasionally, but he's now in a more strategic role in his business. It means when he takes a holiday, there's people answering the phone. It's not diverted to him on his sun lounger in wherever. He's got a proper system in place. He's got a team around him. He's got somebody looking after his accounts. He's got subcontractors and multiple vans on the road. So work is still happening. He can take time off knowing that the business is still operating. And this is why this is the ecosystem that we put in place for his business. This isn't just a list of random tactics. This is a very deliberate system that we've developed over the years that's worked really well for him, and is something that I'm going to take you through on this webinar. So the first thing we've already touched on briefly is having a conversion optimized website. It's so important. It really, really is. The last thing you want to do is start spending money unless you actually tackled the foundations. Then you move on to local SEO. That's your visibility. So that's things like being found for the keywords and the towns in which you operate. Google Business Profile, we're going to have a look at that in a moment. And then start switching on the ads. Once you've got your website and it's proven and it's starting to convert, switch on your ads, and then you know that you're not just going to burn money. It's not just going to fall out of the leaky bucket. The fourth step, the fourth pillar in this ecosystem is capturing the details of the people that are interacting with your business, whether they're inquiring, whether they're already a customer, but having a database of people that you can then remarket to in the future is so powerful for growing your business. It really is. So a CRM stands for customer relationship management, and it's essentially a tool. You might have heard of HubSpot or ActiveCampaign, but it just allows you to store your customers in a central place. It's like the hub of your business. And then you've got the power to then send them emails, market other services to them. I'm sure a lot of you are thinking about aircon if you're not doing that already. And it just gives you that ability to introduce new products to them. And then the fifth pillar is a big trust builder, and that's video. So one of the programs that we offer plumbing and heating businesses, we actually include recording a video of your business. Videos are so powerful in the world of AI. It's the kind of the last bastion, if you like, of personality and personalization. So video is really, really important. We'll touch on that in a moment as well. So let's have a look at pillar one. So this is about your website not being a brochure, but kind of acting like your 24/7 employee. So whenever people visit your website at any time, day or night, you've got a chance of converting them into either an inquiry or a phone call. So most trade websites that we look at, plumbing and heating business website, they're just brochures. They exist, but they don't really perform. So the solution is a high converting site designed specifically for plumbing customers' psychology. Tackle those fears that they have before they pick up the phone. Can I trust this person? Are they going to turn up on time? Are they going to leave my house in a mess? How long is this going to take? How much is it going to cost? So they're the sort of questions that go through people's minds. And just on the right hand side there, it's just a typical kind of wireframe of what a good website would look like. So you've got all your trust signals at the top. So if you're Which Trusted Trader or Gas Safe, have those prominent at the top. Make sure you've got a phone number right at the top of the page. Make sure that you've got social proof on there. You've got a little band of reviews. You can get little tickers that kind of just scroll along, and they can read reviews and they can see the reviews. And seeing 5 stars, it's such a powerful sort of visual aid. And making sure that all your service pages are separate, so you're not just dumping all your services on one page. So you've got at least 4 or 5 pages. Boiler repair, boiler service, boiler installation, aircon if you offer that, power flushing if you offer that, and that's how you're going to have a website that is more than a brochure, and it's like a conversion engine. So that's pillar one. This is an example of a website that we launched at the start of the year. And I just want to draw your attention to 1 or 2 things. So in the top left-hand corner there, you've got a little reviews ticker, which is a live reviews ticker. So as more reviews come in, that little number goes up. It's a visual aid. It's so powerful. It's got the 5 stars on there. It's got the platform where the reviews are coming from. Coming over to the right-hand side, you've got an easy visual call button. It's bright orange. You can't miss it. Then you've got your menu, and then you've got a signal, really, a visual cue that this is a bona fide business. A sign written van is so powerful to use. Even better if you're stood next to it, or there's some of your team. If you're running more than one van, have a collection of vans, but it's just a visual cue that says this is a bona fide business. They're trading. They're serious guys. And then there's a few other little logos there that people will recognize, Backseat, Glowworm, Valent. So they're just subtle little visual cues. And then you've got a little strip of 3 items, which, that's your value proposition right there. So your guarantees, your number of reviews, where you service, what makes you different, what makes you better than your competition. Here's another example. This is the guy that we've been talking about. Again, very clear, very easy to navigate, very clear call button. It's got a little kind of call icon. And on mobile, as you're going to see in a moment, that's tappable. You've got your Which Trusted Trader at the top. You've got that they're on Checker Trade. These are all brands that people will recognize, your customers will recognize, and they will carry an element of trust. And like I said, with your website, you want to make sure it's designed mobile first. Most of your traffic is going to come from a mobile. We look at the analytics of some of the businesses that we work with, and typically they will get about 70% of their traffic from a mobile device. So you need to make sure that your website looks great on a mobile. So again, really clear call buttons that you can just tap with your thumb. You've got the visual cue at the top with the reviews. You've got a little bit of text. So it's really easy to know what to do, because if somebody wakes up, they come downstairs and there's no hot water, the house is cold, they don't want to mess about trying to find how to contact you. They just want to tap the button or fire off an inquiry to get help. That's all they're interested in. They're not interested in fancy animations and widgets and whizzy stuff. They just want to call you. So make it easy for them. Don't hide the till was one of the best phrases that I heard years ago. And the impact of all of this is a high converting website. Most plumbing heating business websites will convert at best 3 to 5%, but one that's been designed specifically to convert traffic into calls and inquiries, as you can see there, the Vedetta site is roughly about 20%, just under 20%. So pillar number 2 that I want to talk to you about is own your postcode. So what that means is own your local search. You want to dominate your local search. That doesn't happen overnight, but if you do the right things and you do them consistently, so a good Google business profile that is fully completed, fully optimized with accurate information, your service areas, the services you offer, any other extra information like emergency availability, fill it out as complete as you can, add photos. And the most important thing is make sure you get your customers to review you on Google Business. That alone is one of the biggest impacts on how Google is going to display your listing when somebody is searching and you're in the radius of where that person is. Number of reviews, and reply to the reviews, and reply using keywords. So thank you for allowing us to service your boiler. All of these words are cues to Google as to what you do. And this is a bit more technical, and this is maybe something a marketing partner could do for you, but build up citations, so local directories, and make sure that on your website and anywhere where you put your business, there is consistency with how you call your business. So the name of your business, ABC Plumbers Limited, make sure that that's consistent all throughout. Your address is consistent, your phone numbers are consistent, because that stuff makes a difference. And this is what it looks like if you get it right. You'll start getting calls from your Google business profile. And those calls, as you optimize your profile and you increase your reviews, those calls are going to start going up and up and up. And this is free traffic for your business. This is free leads. Where else can you get stuff for free? So get it right. Optimize your Google business profile, treat it seriously, and it will deliver leads for your business. This is just an example of a listing. So I've gone on and done a cold search for boiler servicing Leighton Buzzard. That's why I need my glasses. And this is a result. So this is a result of 5 years of hard work, of doing the right things just consistently. It's boring stuff, but do it consistently. And this is the result here. There's 3 links there on the homepage of Google to Vedetta Heating, which is one of the guys that we work with. So he's number 1 in the map pack listing because of the number of reviews that he's got and the frequency of how often he replies and just how well optimized it is. So he's got position there. Then he's got a link to his Facebook page. Have social media accounts, post to them. I wouldn't say social media is a big is a huge opportunity. There's lots of other tactics you can do that are going to pay off, but he's got his Facebook page there. It's another link. And then the third one is his organic position. He is ranked above Checkatrade because we're using the right keywords on his website. We've built it and developed it in such a way that it ranks really well and he's dominating. This is what I was talking about. Own your postcode. That's what you want to do. So that's 3 links on Google and they're all organic. He's not paid for any of those links. But hey, this is where you can pay for traffic, and this is where only pay for traffic, only spend on media once you've fixed the leaky bucket, you've got your reviews, you've built your trust, you've got your social proof on your website, you're not using stock photos, you've got pictures of your team on there. And this is where you can really turn the tap on and off. So if you do get busy, you can just turn the tap down and reduce the lead flow. So this is Google Ads, and Google Ads are great because they give you a sense of predictability about how you're going to scale your business, because you will quickly work out for every pound you put in, you're getting £10 back or £15 back, and that little bit of insight then can inform and dictate how you're going to grow your business. So if you want to grow it by 10% next year, well, you've got the figures, you've got the understanding from your campaigns that you're running to how to scale it. So if you want to grow 10, 20, 30%, well, you know how much you need to invest in your marketing. So, we're looking at targeting high intent keywords, things like, your typical customer is going to type in emergency plumber, boiler installation, boiler servicing, but switching off the ads, because we don't want them to appear for if somebody's searching for, plumbing job or how to fix a boiler. We're not interested in those keywords, or cheap plumber or low cost plumber, all those kind of keywords. We can switch those off. And then the result is, once the campaigns are really well dialed in and they're really well optimized, you can be looking at cost per lead of £15 to £20. And over the average, the time that we've been working together with Jordan, his comes out about £22 cost per lead. And they're people that are contacting him direct because he's built his reputation, because he's built his trust and his social proof on his website. He's not competing at the bottom. He's not a bottom feeding business. He's actually selling at a premium price to good customers that trust him, because not everybody wants the cheapest. That's a fallacy. Not everybody wants the cheapest price. Pillar number 4 is, we don't want you losing any of these leads. How many times have you rung a business and the phone just rings and rings and rings, or it goes to an answer phone and you never hear from them again? How many times does that happen? It happens too much in the world of trades because, you're up a ladder, under a sink, in a cupboard. You're everywhere other than the phone. And, unless you've got your calls diverted to a call answering service, which costs money, then you're leaving food on the table for your competitors, because they're just going to ring the next plumber in the list. They've got no affinity to you. They've got no loyalty to you. So they're just going to move on to the next one. But there is a way to stop it. And the way to stop it is putting something in the middle of this. And this is, again, where your CRM system comes in, because a good CRM system would be able to take that call and text the customer straight back if it recognizes that the call hasn't been answered, and have either an automated text or some sort of conversation with the customer that makes them aware that they're going to get a call back. There are some very sophisticated, they're getting better. I don't rate them too well at the moment, but AI call agents are getting better, where an AI call agent would call them back and have a conversation with them and at least establish their needs. I think they're getting better, but they're still, I would say they're a little way off. I've seen some really good ones. I've seen some really poor ones. And if you don't get it right, you're going to lose that customer. But there is something you can do, and that is just put in place, we can do it, put in place a CRM that texts them back straight away. Sorry, we missed your call. How can we help? And you will get a message back. They will feel like they're getting served, and everybody is happy. And just as we start to wrap up now, pillar 5, and we touched on this at the start, really important. The power of video is only getting more and more important. It's been important for 5-10 years, probably even longer, but it's never more important than right now, because it is a way to differentiate your business. tell your story and get your message across. And a video is so powerful on your website, on your landing pages, to build trust really, really quickly. And your video should typically be, minute to a minute and a half, a little bit of a little bit of your vans, and if you can, try and get a couple of your customers to step up and say some good words about you. This is something we do. It's part of the package that we offer. So anyone that takes one of our partnership packages, we do the video as part of the package because we do see it, that it offers so much value. So they're the 5 pillars. And I wanted to touch on just how the world of search and how people are finding your business is starting to change. As you will be aware, over the last couple of years, AI has kind of taken over the world. Everyone's talking about AI, but what does it actually mean for your business? So the world of search is changing in that Google is giving less and less direct links, like you would see the little band with a little description and a blue title, like you're used to seeing in Google. Instead, it's giving what's called zero-click information, where it's giving you the information on the screen, so you don't actually need to go to the website to find it. So what's happening is website traffic is starting to come down. How quickly that will change, nobody really knows, because it's human behavior at the end of the day. But there is a way that you can make sure that you're still part of the conversation. And this is important where people are doing searches in ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or Copilot, which are all AI tools that people are now typing in, find me the highest rated, best customer service boiler company in my area. I want them to be gas safe registered. I've got a Worcester Bosch boiler. This is the make and model. They need to be able to service this, and blah, 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 and all information. So instead of just typing in a search for plumber near me, they're giving it a lot more information. So it stands to reason, if you've got that information on your website, in your pages, then you're going to stand a much better chance of not just appearing on Google in these zero-click searches, but also appearing in ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, all of those AI tools. So it's just about doing best practice things. So have a knowledge hub on your website, keep your blog up to date, make sure you've got all of your services on separate pages, make sure that you're driving reviews, because if somebody's looking for a trusted business, reviews are gold in the eyes of not just Google, but AI tools. And make sure you've got a good meet the team page. Make sure you've got all your accreditations on there, because again, if a AI tool is looking to build up a picture of a trusted, well-respected leader, they're going to want to see that you're gas safe registered, that you're Worcester Bosch partnered or Valiant partnered or whoever. So it's just about doing the best practice things on your website to make sure that you stand the best chance of getting found. So after all of this, so there's your 5 pillars and kind of like a bonus one at the end with what's changing. But here's the path that you can take. So you can stop chasing work and start building a business, start building an asset. And that's what the Book Solid system. I haven't really talked too much about it because I wanted to give you as much value as possible up front. But option B is for businesses that are looking for this kind of transformation. You can take a screenshot of this, or you can save it on your phone and kind of come back to it later. But this is the essence of the Book Solid system. This is taking you from a one van band to a scalable asset as a business, and it's built on those 5 core pillars: a website and digital footprint locally, so owning your postcode, control of your leads, capturing those leads in a CRM system, and building on that trust with good video content. And you're going to see that kind of trajectory over the next few years if you deploy that system, or you work with us and we can deploy that system for you. So the types of businesses that we work with typically will be in a revenue bracket of a couple of 100,000 to 500,000. So they've got some experience in business, they've got a background, and they've been trading for a few years. But the most important thing is their mindset is that they're ready to invest in growing their business as an asset, and they're not looking for a kind of, get rich quick operation. There's no silver bullets in all of this. We've been working with Jordan for 5 years. We're into our 6th year. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens with a good partnership with a reputable company that knows what they're doing. The people we don't want to work with are, new businesses, because you're too busy trying to get yourself established, and anyone that's unwilling to sort of commit to a partnership, really, because this doesn't happen in 3 months, in 6 months. This takes time, and it is a partnership. So this is our investment each month, but if you look at it in the way that you should be looking at it, which is your marketing is an investment and not a cost, 1 or 2 boiler installs, the profit from those should just about cover that monthly investment, and we'll implement the Book Solid system for you. So we'll handle everything. We'll set up the CRM system. We will get your website sorted. You could see some examples earlier on in the webinar. We will film video content for you. We'll produce a video for you. All that we ask is that you're committed for 1 year, and that's where you're going to see the real shift, the real change in your business. So I want to close just by saying we've been about half an hour, which is about what I wanted it to be. So stop chasing work, stop relying on word of mouth. That is hope, and hope is not a strategy. Start building a business, start building an asset of your business. That is the most important thing. So listen, thank you so much for watching. I hope that's been useful. If you are interested in a little bit more help, we do offer a free growth audit. And what we will do is we will look at your business, your online presence, your website, and we will give you an honest review, and it will be a 5 to 6 minute video. And I promise you, you will come away with at least 3, 4, 5 nuggets that you can implement straight away that's going to make a difference to your business. So you've got nothing to lose. It's not a sales tool. There's no sales call. There will be a link wherever this video is. You can find it on my LinkedIn profile as well. So you just put your details in, or send me a message with your website, and we'll go off and we'll audit it, and we'll send you a 5-minute video. There'll be no sales call follow-up. So it's entirely up to you. If you find it useful and you want to have a further conversation, you can. But that's it for now. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of the evening.